Good afternoon. Today I'm going to present the topic setting up a project. My name is Arleta Betancourt, and as well I'm going to present a proposal for project work. To start, we need to understand what is a project work. A theme and task center mode of teaching and learning, which results from a joint process of negotiation between participants. It allows a wide scope of self-determined action and also define goals and procedures. This was according to Legut and Thomas. Project learning is a dynamic balance between a process and a product orientation. It is experimental and holistic. It bridges the dualism between body and mind, theory and practice, and in John Dewere's words, experience and think. A major consideration for teachers wishing to experiment with project work in their classes, the main issue might be where to start. How can it be running in the classroom? Well, there are some stages involved in setting up a project. According to Freiburg, 1986, there are three key stages. He presented three key stages, and those are classroom planning, where students and teachers discuss the content and scope of the project, predict the specific language needs. The second will be carrying out the project. Students move out to perform the task they have planned, use the skills naturally. And the last one, but not least, the reviewing and monitoring the work. These may be discussions and feedback sessions during and after the project. Rivet and Vidal's book echoed the basic framework from Freiburg. This was setting up the stages of a project into 10 steps. And these are the first one, creating a good classroom atmosphere, getting the class interested, selecting the topic, creating a general outline of the project, doing basic research around the topic, reporting this to the class, processing feedback, putting it all together, presenting the project, and assessing and evaluating the project. It is interesting to note the emphasis put in the framework on affective factors, such as creating atmosphere or stimulating students' interest in project work. There is a project work model that is proposed by Lecoq and Thomas, consists of 6 main stages, and these are opening, topic orientation, research and data collection, preparing data presentation, the presentation itself, and at least the evaluation. There are some examples of target tasks that can be worked with the class, with your students, and these are some examples. To produce and sell an anthology of the student's poetry. To teach a class of English junior school children for the whole week. To interview passengers at a major international airport. This might help students to practice their speaking skills. To hold a jumble sale of Break a Crack for charity. To design a feature film based on a short story or a novel or maybe a play. To design a brochure for foreign tourists about one's hometown. So this could be like a work for their own town to work students on their own place of knowledge. This would be really good for them. An important thing to notice here is that once the target has been chosen, teacher and learners specify the essential preparatory steps. They need to decide on the topic first, and then how they can work on it and how they can start with it. It is also important to understand that teachers and learners get some roles during this project work. This full-scale project work implies a different role for both teacher and learners. And here we're going to discuss some of them. To start, the teacher's role, the first teacher's role is to be a coordinator of the learning process. How? He retains the right to intervene with help, advice, or to set fresh targets. As a facilitator, he is the heart of communicative approaches to language teaching. As for students, this might be some of the roles. We know that learners learn through doing and experiencing. This view of role of the learners can be broken down into three different components. The first one, learning in the here and now, where learners are involved in learning about something in their world which is related to the present reality. The second, experimentation and reflection, where learners are or become discoverers. The last one, the project learner is also reflective, where learners are encouraged to reflect back on the project, to draw conclusions and to make new hypotheses. What do we do with project work? When we work with these kind of activities in the classroom, well, it promotes learners' autonomy, encourage independent decision-making with a great deal of responsibility because they do it on their own and for a job in the classroom. The projects itself include learners' decision-making process about topics. The experimental cycles they use when this happens when realizing a communicative task at a micro level format. There are some difficulties with implementary project work. The first one might be time. Learners need time to fully carry out full-scale projects. Second, group dynamic, where teachers need to deal with it. The third one, teacher's role. Teachers may be psychologically and methodologically unprepared to make the step into project work. The fourth one could be clarity. It is essential if learners are not to feel directionless. The fifth one would be deal with error. Teachers need to deal with it and be aware of the necessity for these group activities or monitoring. To sum up, it is really important to establish that projects embody the spirits of process teaching and, to some extent, the process of syllabus. They learn, they practice, and they put in practice everything they know, everything they learn in an English class, and this is a way to show it. And now I'm going to describe my proposal for this project work. When we make students to work in projects, we make them feel responsible of their own work. We make them aware of what they know in the English class, what they have learned in the English class. So this kind of work is really important for them and for us to assess them. My proposal is a brochure for foreign students. Sorry, for foreign tourists, and the students need to work with places from their town before. So the subject is creating a brochure. The level might be for intermediate students. The topic, obviously, is the touristic places in their town. The age could be students from 15 to 18 years old. The aim of the activity is to reinforce information about their city, making students investigate about touristic places to visit in their town or city, because this way they're going to advise to foreign tourists, to foreign people, where or what places to visit in their own towns. The procedure might be: divide the students into teams, set up the activity by describing the students the project they will create as a project work, establish these points to the teams, make the necessary investigation about places to visit in their town. They need to go around their houses, asking their families or relatives about different places in the town to visit. They decide on the purpose of the brochure. That means persuading, informing, or entertaining. They think about the message they want to convey to their readers. They have to write their text and choose pictures for the brochure. They have at the end to proofread and to edit their own brochure, to make changes if they want, and also to improve their own brochure. The activities for the project might be: before they start doing the project, the teacher divides them into groups, into teams. Then he or she explains the activity to the students by giving them some ideas on how to create their brochure. These might be different places to propose in their project. They need to investigate, they need to go on the internet, or they need to make some questions between their relatives or their own classmates to decide on the places they need to show in the brochure. During the activity, the students in teams decide on different topics they are going to include. Maybe restaurants, museums, some places to visit, important places to visit, historic places to visit. Then they investigate information and make a survey about the most known places in their towns to get the best ones for their brochure. After, with the information they collect and also the pictures they find, or maybe they also take some other pictures or some pictures from these places, they create their brochure. These might be in teams. Every person in the team must work on this presentation. At the end, they need to present it in the class as the project work, which can be assessed by the teacher. The teacher can assess creativity, teamwork, presentation, and also clear information of the topic. The skills that might be worked in this project would be: in the skill of reading, the students investigate information, they go into the internet, as we said, they need to include in the brochure. They also look for some pictures, they also read the information to decide which information is the best to include. Writing. The skill of writing is involved when the students create their brochure. They write information on their own, they decide on the information, they make some written before they present it. So they do it or they put it in their brochure. And the part of speaking or the skill of speaking, it's involved when they present their brochure to the class and the teacher, where the teacher is going to assist. Every student might be able to participate into this work in order for the teacher to assess them with the whole work. The references worked or used for this project, this video is from Universidad de Expro, task-based. That would be all. Thank you very much.